Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, wherever you are across our globe. So, what I want to do with this show, right? My name is Chidera, by the way. My name is Chidera Nkem-Paul, and I want to, for a while, I'm just going to go straight into it. For a while, I have had this thing in my head, and it's like, Chidera, you need to, first of all, you need to grow, you need to develop, you need to reach out to more like-minded people. You need to find the God inside of you and see how best you can reproduce the things that you were learning and put them into practicality. So I said to myself, okay, we're going to go out there, we're going to share God's words, and and see how it goes, because evangelism is one thing that has been lacking, for the better words, in my life. So I thought, well, what better way to go out there and actually talk about Christ? Talk about Christ, but not just talk about Christ in the contemporary way. I'm a young man in my very early 30s. I am very aware of the environment, the world that I live in today. I'm very aware of the culture that I live in today, that we all live in today, right? So the essence of this show, the essence of this podcast, the essence of this series of conversation that we're going to be having, myself and a few guest speakers that I will be bringing on this platform. The essence is for multiple areas of our Christian life to be addressed in today's generation. Now, wait with me or stay with me. Um, this is not a, I don't know how to explain it. This is not just another religious platform. This is not just another, church going platform. No, this is a platform, and you're going to see this more evidence by the sort of guest we're going to bring in the next couple of days, weeks, months, and years to come. This is a platform that is there to really try to do a number of things. Number one, debunking this Christian myth that we always have in the Christendom, um, going into doctrinal understanding of the Word of God, understanding most importantly the kingdom of heaven, understanding who Jesus Christ really is and how best we can walk and follow him. And when I talk about all of these things and much more, the primary focus is how do we bring this word home. How do we bring this home? How do we bring this home? How do we bring this to our environment? How do we bring this to our place of work? How do we bring this into our family? How do we bring this into our place of education? How do we bring this into every aspect of our life? Is it possible that some of us might find ourselves as Christians on Sundays or attend the Bible believing class on a weekday, but then at the rest of the week, we are subconsciously us, just someone else. And then on Sunday, we are back to the holies of holies. Is there a way we can migrate those two together? Is there a way we can get our day-to-day life, our day-to-day activities, and actually bring out Christ in that? All right. So honestly, what's in the heart of my heart here is to, how do we say, thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven? How do we present that in a more real, physical, day-to-day experience? That's the main primary objective of this podcast. And I'm not very, I'm not one to really put myself out there publicly. So you can tell I'm really struggling to get myself going here, but it will get better with time. Okay, it will get better with time. I'm going to get more eloquent speakers than myself, more comfortable guest speakers than myself. I'm going to be throwing questions, but here's what I want. What I want you to do for me is to give me questions that you think, hey, Chidera, let's talk about this. This is real talk, right? Real talk. Let's talk about this. This has been bothering me for a long time, and I've always heard people talk about this in church, and I've always heard because as an African, we grow up in the Christian faith, and we only really discover Christ for ourselves at a much later stage. But in our process of growing up, we've heard so many teachings and so many doctrines, many of which we just accepted. We never really questioned, and those acceptance or those teachings have become the foundation and the bedrock of our principles and our lives and the morals that we hold today. Can we debunk some of them? Right? Can we address some of them? Can we reinforce the ones that really apply in our generation and really, help us move forward in our pursuit of righteousness, holiness, success, whatever that might mean to any of us? And can we also talk about how can we really and truly maximize our platform as Christians or our role as ambassadors of Christ in today's generation? We're going to be bringing up topics like the LGBTQ. We're going to be bringing up topics like relationships. We're going to be bringing up topics to do with, just controversial topics in today's generation. And how can we, with the help of the Word of God, with the help of scriptures, how can we marry these two together? So, with all that I have said so far, I'm sure some of you might get the gist that, okay, this is a young man's kind of show. And yeah, you're kind of right. This is not just a man, by the way. This is a young 21st century individual show. Somebody who wants to understand, how do I live a practical, how do I live a practical, godly life in this my generation, a generation that is so different from what our parents grew up in, right? How do I live a real godly practical life? How do I interpret the word of God that is applicable, not to amend or to twist or to manipulate, but is truly applicable to my generation today, to my world today? Okay, so I came up with a few topics and I want you guys to please help me. Please help me here, and I won't take too much of your time. We're going to keep this under 10 minutes, I promise. Okay, so some of the ideas that I had in things to do with faith and culture. All right. How should Christian engage in a modern society? So things to do with relationship. That one is a big, it's a big, interesting one that really gets people going. Relationship and marriage. That's another one that I have here on my note. Faith and mental health. Money and Christianity. There's this, unfortunate thinking that some people still have to this day, that if you are a child of God and you want to pursue Christ, then you don't really have much to do with discovering how money works. And if you want to pursue money, then you're not really a Christian. And that's not true. Christ never called us to be poor. So that, again, is something we can debunk or we can look into. The end time prophecy, that's another interesting one, looking at the book of Revelation. That's a big one. What else have we got here? The role of a woman in the church. Church hurts and deconstructions, right? So is there ways that many Christians, unfortunately, have felt quite disappointed by the church and how the church has operated over the years, or their experiences in church that has really shook their faith and affected them in one way or another? Guys, these and many more topics are some of the things that I really wanted to talk about, challenging old church doctrines as well. I've talked about relationship and dating. I've talked about mental health. The list goes on and on. Okay, there is so much that I want to talk about, and I want to interview people. I want young adults like myself, Christian, non-Christian, just drop me a message. Let's talk. Real talk. Real talk. Okay. But remember that everything that we're going to be talking about on this platform, this is just a pilot session anyway, but everything we're going to be talking about will be, how can we walk in line with the kingdom of heaven? Okay. And how did I even phrase it? Let me see. How did I phrase it, if I can find it now? But I really want us to look at how we can truly walk in line with God's, sort of bringing kingdom perspective into our daily life. That's it. Yeah. Bringing kingdom perspective, the kingdom of heaven, into our daily lives. Hook me up, right? Or chat me up, whichever. Let's talk. If you're interested to get on this show, let's just open the Word of God and let's get something going here. Okay? God bless you all. Love you all.